How to handle disrespect without losing your cool. Have you ever felt the sting of someone's disrespect and wished you had the perfect response? What if I told you that true strength isn't in fighting back, but in mastering the art of silence? Imagine turning every rude encounter into a powerful declaration of self-respect without saying a single word. Let's explore how. Some people just love to test our boundaries. They interrupt, make passive-aggressive comments, or treat our time and feelings like they're optional. Society often expects us to smile, brush it off, and move on, but not today. If you're tired of tolerating disrespect, this guide is your weapon. I'll share with you brutally honest, and yes, slightly controversial, methods to command respect without sacrificing your dignity. 1. Embrace the silent stare. One of the simplest yet most savage techniques is the silent stare. Yes, just looking at someone, no words, no expressions, just a calm, steady gaze. It may sound too subtle, but its impact is profound. When someone is openly rude, they're often fishing for a reaction: anger, defensiveness, self-doubt. They want to pull you into their emotional chaos. But when you offer nothing but unwavering calm, the power dynamic shifts entirely. Your silent stare says, "I'm not here to play your game," without uttering a syllable. I remember being in a meeting where someone kept interrupting me. After failed polite interjections, I simply leaned back, crossed my arms, and locked eyes with him. No blinking, no expression, just 5 seconds of silence. The entire room tensed. He stumbled, looked away, and never interrupted me again. The silent stare is more than just a power move. It's a bold reminder to yourself: I don't owe anyone a reaction. You're not there to defend or explain your worth. You're there to hold your ground with silent strength. Each time you choose to stay calm and still, you reinforce your inner power. 2. Let silence be your answer. Silence isn't weakness. It's a conscious, powerful choice. When someone disrespects you, one of the most commanding responses is no response. People expect drama. They expect defense, arguments, validation. When you offer nothing, you rob them of the satisfaction they seek. Their words echo in the empty space you leave, forcing them to confront their behavior alone. I've dealt with passive-aggressive jokers before, people who hide cruelty under the guise of humor. One day, someone made an unnecessary jab about my work. Instead of biting back or defending myself, I simply raised an eyebrow and stayed silent. The awkwardness grew, and he shrank back, never daring to cross that line again. By choosing silence, you're choosing yourself. You're declaring, my peace matters more than your opinion. It's about refusing to be pulled into negativity, about setting an invisible but impenetrable boundary. Admittedly, it wasn't easy at first. I used to feel like I had to defend myself or risk seeming weak. But over time, I realized that reacting gave them power. Staying silent reclaimed it. Next time someone tests you, pause, breathe, let silence speak volumes. Watch how powerful you become. 3rd stop, explaining your choices. Here's a hard truth. You don't owe anyone an explanation for how you live your life. Yet, time and again, people act entitled to demand it. Why didn't you go to that event? Why did you leave that job? Often, these questions aren't about curiosity. They're subtle challenges meant to make you doubt your path. Explaining yourself feeds into their need for validation or control. It invites unnecessary scrutiny and drains your energy. The reality is, your choices are yours alone. When I transitioned careers, leaving a secure job for a riskier, passion-driven path, the judgment was palpable. At first, I tried to explain. I justified my dreams. But the more I explained, the less people understood, and the more I doubted myself. Finally, I changed tactics. When asked why I left, I simply said, because I wanted to. No detailed plans, No justifications, and it felt liberating. Living authentically means trusting your own decisions without needing external approval. Every time you stop explaining, you're telling the world, I trust myself. Your validation isn't required. Confident people rarely explain themselves. They let their actions, their peace, and their progress speak. When you stop explaining, you live for yourself, and that's the ultimate freedom. In closing, the silent stare, the silence after disrespect, the refusal to explain. These aren't acts of rebellion, they're acts of self-respect. You deserve to protect your peace. You deserve to command respect without shouting for it. You deserve to live your truth without apology. The next time someone crosses the line, remember, your silence, your calm, and your confidence are the sharpest tools you have. Use them well. Life often gets a lot lighter the moment we stop explaining ourselves. I want you to pause for a moment and ask yourself this. When was the last time you felt truly confident in a decision you made? When you stop justifying your choices to others, something shifts inside you. You gain a sense of calm, a quiet confidence that is rooted in trusting your own judgment. In this video, I want to talk about how that feeling of freedom can change your life. Imagine a life where you're not burdened by others' opinions, where your choices are simply yours, valid and true because you made them. But there's more to it than just letting go of the need to explain. Let's explore 3 powerful actions you can take today that will set you on a path of self-respect, confidence, and peace. These actions aren't just about self-improvement, they're about transformation. Are you ready? The first shift comes when you stop explaining. Here's my challenge to you. The next time someone questions your choices or decisions, resist the urge to justify them. Instead, respond simply with, because I wanted to, or that felt right for me. Let the silence follow. Watch how powerful that simple statement can be. You'll feel stronger, more in control, and more at peace with yourself. And the best part? You'll realize that your choices don't need anyone else's approval to be valid. They're legitimate because you made them. Next, we dive into a strategy that might feel tough at first, but it's necessary for your mental well-being. Keeping your distance. I know, it sounds harsh, maybe even cold, but let's face it, not everyone deserves a place in your life. When people consistently disrespect you, the healthiest thing you can do is to give yourself some space. And no, this doesn't mean you hate them or that you're being dramatic. It means you're honoring your boundaries and you're making space for relationships that truly nourish you. Imagine your life as a VIP club. Not everyone gets a pass. If someone is continually crossing your boundaries or draining your energy, why on earth would you keep them close? Stepping back isn't about avoiding confrontation or being passive-aggressive. It's about protecting your peace. Distance gives you the clarity to see relationships for what they truly are, free from manipulation, free from guilt. Here's a little story. I had a friend who, no matter what I did, always found a way to criticize me. My career, my relationships, even my choice in music. At first, I thought it wasn't a big deal, but over time, it wore me down. So I began limiting my time with them. Instead of seeing them every week, I saw them maybe once a month. And you know what? I felt lighter, freer. It wasn't until I distanced myself that I could see how toxic that friendship had become. Here's the tough truth. People might say you're being selfish. They might point to years of friendship or family ties. But at what cost? Protecting your peace isn't selfish. It's necessary. Letting go of guilt when you distance yourself from people who don't respect you is liberating. You're not obligated to keep toxic people in your life. Protecting your mental health is your priority. The third powerful action, hold your head high. This one's timeless. When someone disrespects you, their goal is often to make you feel small, to have you doubt yourself. But here's the secret. When you stand tall, hold your head high, you're silently saying, I know who I am, and nothing you say or do can change that. The power of confidence is undeniable. It throws off people who thrive on disrespect because they rely on your insecurity. When you refuse to be shaken, you're not just protecting your dignity, you're actively dismantling their narrative. I'll never forget a time when someone would make snide comments every time we met. I used to shrink, avoid eye contact, and try to brush it off. But one day I decided I wasn't going to let their words affect me anymore. I walked in with my shoulders back and head high. Every time they made a comment, I looked them in the eye and carried on like nothing happened. You know what? They backed off. Suddenly, their words lost their power. Standing tall isn't just about physical posture. It's a mental shift, too. It's about declaring your self-worth without needing anyone else's approval. When you walk through life as if you've already got everything you need within you, you'll find that nothing shakes you. Holding your head high is a powerful reminder that you are valuable, deserving of respect, and that no one can take that from you. In conclusion, life's too short to spend it constantly explaining yourself, trying to win others' approval, or allowing disrespect into your world. When you stop explaining, keep your distance from negativity, and stand tall in your own worth, you become unstoppable. This is your life. You get to decide who gets access to it, and you get to set the standard for how you're treated. If you've ever felt like you're walking on eggshells around certain people, or like your choices are constantly under scrutiny, I hope today's video has given you the tools to shift that narrative. Hold your head high, protect your peace, and never apologize for walking away from anything that doesn't serve your growth. Until next time, take care, stay strong, and remember, respect starts with you. Each of your likes and shares is a great source of motivation for us to continue to bring better things every day. Thank you for always being here.